You keep chasing people who barely show up for you. You text first. You plan everything. You rush to fill the silence so they never have to. And in return, you get short replies, canceled plans, and the quiet feeling that you are always the second option. Chasing people is like running on a treadmill. You exhaust yourself, but you never arrive. From a Stoic view, this is not a problem of love. It is a problem of standards. In the next few minutes, you will learn 5 Stoic shifts that make people respect you without chasing anyone, manipulating them, or pretending to be colder than you really are. Stay until the end, because once you understand the last shift, you will never look at chasing the same way again. You already know how this story feels in your body. You stare at your phone, watching the typing bubble appear and disappear while you write, delete, and rewrite the perfect message. You say, "No worries," whenever you're free, to someone who keeps postponing you like a task they do not want to do. Deep down, you feel like you are auditioning for a role in someone else's life, hoping they will finally pick you. At work, you are the one who volunteers first. You stay late, you take on the tasks no one wants, and you laugh off the jokes that go a little too far. You tell yourself, "If I prove my value, they will respect me." But weeks turn into months, and the respect never comes. In friendships and relationships, you are the one who keeps the connection alive. You remember birthdays, send long messages, and plan meetups. They reply with one line, show up late, or say, "Sorry, I have been so busy," for the 5th time in a row. You lower your expectations, then lower them again, just to keep them in your life. And late at night, you feel it. You are tired, not just in your body, but in your spirit. You know you are moving, but you also know you are not getting anywhere. It feels exactly like a treadmill, a lot of motion and zero arrival. Here is the hard question. How long will you keep running in place just to stay in someone else's life? The Stoics would say, this is not a problem of being unlovable. It is a problem of chasing what should be walking toward you. They would remind you that the more you value things outside your control, the less control you have over yourself. Think about luxury cars for a second. You never see ads for Bentleys on daytime television. Why? Because truly high value does not beg for attention. It knows what it is, and it lets the right people find it. From a Stoic perspective, your life works the same way. When you are always available, always explaining yourself, always running after people who barely turn their heads, you are marketing yourself like a cheap product in a crowded marketplace. When you raise your standards and your presence, you become more like that Bentley. You are not louder, you are rarer. Here is the reframe. Your job is not to convince people to choose you. Your job is to live in a way that makes disrespect impossible to sustain around you. You are not here to control their opinions. You are here to control your standards. And from that lens, we can see the first shift clearly. The first shift. Treat your availability like a kingdom, not a marketplace. Most people treat their time like a clearance sale. They respond instantly. They say yes to every plan, and they keep their schedule wide open for people who never commit until the last minute. On the surface, this looks generous. Underneath, it smells like desperation. When you are always free, you are telling the world, "Nothing in my life is more important than your attention." People do not respect what they can get at any time, for any reason. They respect what is present, but not desperate. Imagine 2 doors. One is a revolving door that never stops spinning. Anyone can push it, walk through and walk out whenever they like. The other is a solid door that opens, but only when someone knocks with intention. Which one feels like it leads to something valuable? In practice, this does not mean playing games or waiting 3 hours to respond just to look cool. It means you stop living in your notifications. You turn off your active status. You decide that you will not jump every time your phone lights up. You answer when you are grounded, not when you are anxious. A simple rule is this: if the message is not urgent, it can wait until you have finished what you are doing. Work first, training first, your life first. Because when you treat your availability like a kingdom, people either step carefully at the gate or they stay outside. The second shift: master the Stoic pause instead of instant reaction. When you feel someone slipping away or disrespecting you, your first impulse is to react. You send the long paragraph, you ask, "What did I do wrong?" Or you try to fix their mood with jokes and emojis. That speed is not a connection. It is fear. A Stoic does something different. He pauses. He lets the moment breathe. He chooses response over reaction. From today, practice the 3-second pause. When someone cancels on you at the last minute or sends a cold reply, do not fire back immediately. Look at the message. Take a slow breath in. Count 1, 2, 3 in your mind. Then ask yourself, what response matches my standards, not my anxiety? Sometimes that response will be a short, clean line. Thanks for letting me know. Let's try another time. Sometimes there will be no response at all. Not every comment, not every invitation, and not every disrespect deserves access to your energy. Silence is not weakness when it is chosen. It sends 2 messages. I am not controlled by your emotion, and I am evaluating whether you still belong in my life. The third shift: let your feet speak louder than your words, chasing lives in the legs. It is the constant leaning forward, the just checking in, the going to places where you are clearly a low priority. You keep running on that treadmill, hoping one more effort will finally move it closer to them. But there is a quieter option. You stop going where you are only tolerated. You stop moving toward people who never move toward you. You let your feet deliver the message your mouth is too scared to say. Imagine someone who always keeps you waiting, who texts only when they are bored, who remembers you when their first options disappear. Instead of sending another careful message to keep the connection alive, you simply stop feeding it. You stop asking, "When are we hanging out?" and you let the distance grow. In practice, this means you match effort instead of chasing it. If they invest, you invest. If they pull back, you let there be space instead of sprinting after them. You are not punishing them. You are protecting yourself. A simple line to remember is this: I walk where I am welcomed, not where I am merely allowed. The fourth shift: build the garden instead of chasing butterflies. There is an old image that says, "Do not chase butterflies. Build a garden, and the butterflies will come." Most people spend their lives chasing butterflies. They look at who is not texting, who is not watching their stories, and who is not inviting them. Their entire day becomes a scoreboard of other people's attention. The Stoic path is the garden. You take that energy and you put it into your body, your craft, your finances, your character. You read, you train, you work on something that will still matter 10 years from now. Your brain has a filter called the reticular activating system. Whatever you focus on, it shows you more of. If you focus on who is ignoring you, you will see proof of being ignored everywhere. If you focus on building your garden, you will start seeing opportunities, skills, and small wins that were always there, but never noticed. In practice, this means scheduling time every day when you are not available to anyone, not because you hate people, because you are busy planting. 1 hour of deep work, 1 hour of training, 1 hour of learning. While everyone else is chasing butterflies, you are quietly becoming the kind of person butterflies look for. The 5th shift. Stop negotiating your standards in your own mind. The truth is, most chasing does not start in your thumbs. It starts in your thoughts. They cancel twice, and a voice inside you says, maybe they are just busy. They forget something important, and you tell yourself, it is not a big deal. I do not want to be dramatic. Little by little, you put their comfort above your reality. You explain away every red flag until your standards are not standards anymore. They are suggestions. From a Stoic view, a standard is a line you do not cross, even when you feel lonely, even when you feel afraid of losing someone. It is a promise you make to your own soul. In practice, this looks like writing down 2 or 3 non-negotiables. For example, I do not chase anyone who repeatedly ignores my effort. I do not explain myself more than once. I do not stay where my presence is treated as an option. When your feelings start bargaining, you return to the words you wrote while you were calm. You let discipline hold where emotion wants to collapse. This is where self-respect and quiet power finally meet. Now, let us turn these ideas into training. Within the next 24 hours, pick one place where you usually chase. Maybe it is the person you always double text. Maybe it is the group that only calls when they need something. This time, you will not run. If they message you, answer when you are grounded, not the second your phone lights up. If they cancel or disrespect your time, reply once, calmly, and then step back. Use a line like, "Thanks for letting me know. Let's try another time." And then do not chase a new date. Let your feet and your silence say the rest. You might feel guilty. You might feel empty, like you are doing something wrong. Understand this. That feeling is not proof that you are a bad person. It is proof that you are breaking a habit of running after people who never learn to walk toward you. Next, write down 3 names or 3 situations where you feel the most drained right now. Work, family, friendships. For each one, ask yourself, where am I chasing? And what would it look like to match effort instead? For the next 7 days, live by one rule. No more running in place. If you notice yourself checking your phone over and over, put it face down and put your hands on your real life. Your work, your body, your room, your book. If someone pulls away, you do not sprint after them. You pause, you breathe. You ask, is this still aligned with my standards? Or am I just afraid to let go? If you struggle with words, borrow these until your own voice feels stronger. I am not available then, but thank you for thinking of me. Let us reconnect when schedules line up better. I value my time, so I need a bit more consistency than this. Slowly, something inside you will start to shift. You will move from the person who runs on the treadmill for crumbs of attention to the person who steps off and walks toward their own life. From the person who chases every butterfly to the person who builds such a solid garden that the right ones arrive on their own. From the person who apologizes for wanting respect to the person whose standards make respect the only way to stay in their world. This is self-respect. This is discipline. This is quiet power. You will still care. You will still love, but you will no longer beg. So, picture that scene from the beginning, one more time. You, staring at your phone, are about to send another message to someone who never matches your effort. The old version of you starts typing, explaining, chasing, running. Then the new version of you appears. You put the phone down. You take a breath. You write one clean line, or none at all. Then you open your laptop, your book, your notebook, and you put that energy into your own garden. Someone cancels on you at the last minute. Instead of scrambling to reschedule, you go to the gym alone, or you take yourself to that coffee shop anyway. You are no longer waiting for someone else to validate that your time is worth something. Here is the punchline. The day you stop chasing people is the day they realize they can lose access to you. On Stoic Ether, we train self-respect, discipline, and quiet power. If this helps you step off the treadmill and back into your own life, stay here. Subscribe so you do not forget this the next time your phone tries to pull you back into old patterns. And set your standard in writing. Comment, I stop chasing. I raise my standards. If you want to go deeper, share one situation where you will stop running after someone and choose to build your garden instead. If you know someone who is quietly exhausting themselves just to feel chosen, send them this video. They deserve to know they can step off the treadmill too.